I have been absolutely terrible when it comes to drinking water. It's so bad, in fact, that this here water bottle was a Christmas gift from my wife because, man, I enjoy my sodas. I mean, before I was drinking diet and zero colas, I was drinking the regular ones. I mean, when I go back through my health struggles, in the 2010s when I finally got diagnosed with diabetes, consumption of sugary beverages, I think, is the main culprit for me personally. Like, I mean, I know it's not ever a singular thing. I think that was the big thing, though, that was involved in it. The crazy thing is, being hydrated, it's super important. Like, it really doesn't take a YouTuber, a fitness influencer, social media personality, a personal coach, a personal trainer, a doctor. I mean, I think we all kind of know that inherently. Maybe it's helpful to have such people remind us every now and then that, like, hey, man, yeah, you're looking a little dried out. You're kind of looking like a raisin. You might want to drink some water. But I'll admit, like, it's really an easy habit to mess up really fast. Like, it doesn't take long to get off course when it comes to, like, drinking water, just being accountable to yourself about making sure you're staying hydrated. My thing is with drinking water is it's super important to recovery. I think oftentimes we kind of leave out its importance to, like, actually recovering from your workouts, right? Keeping your body hydrated, being ready to go the next day, staving off things like hunger, making sure you stay in the right calorie counts that you want to be in, right? And also, just simply put, like, not feeling tired. I don't know why water does that, but I do know that on the days that I stay hydrated, maybe it's all the other after effects that come, but, like, I tend to get my steps in a lot easier. I tend to not really hesitate as much on, my workouts. I'm as human as the next person, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I never struggle to motivate myself for a workout. Like, the people who say that, I just think are full of it, man. I've been an athlete. I'm a veteran. I'm sorry, man. Like, I've been a coach and a teacher. Like, yeah, man. Like, you're just not human if you don't struggle from time to time to motivate yourself to get into the gym. And I really like going to the gym. And I know that that journey is different from every person. Like, some people hate it more than others. Some people like it a lot more than others. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what it is about staying hydrated, but I do know when I stay hydrated, I don't seem to have these problems. Sorry, guys. That's my daughter in the background playing Raspberry, trying to get my attention. Here's what I've started to do. In the mornings when I get up, I normally will go grab this bottle here and I'll go fill it up. And this has a 32-ounce marker on it, but I normally fill it up just past the 32-ounce marker. I'm sorry, it's really, really hard to see this. So I'll put it up for you, but you may not be able to see the numbers on there. It is a little hard for that to focus in on that. Even for me, just by eye value, it's really difficult to see without, like, direct light on it. I fill it up to just like maybe 34 ounces or so. It's just like 2 ounces or so above it. You can't go too much above that 32-ounce line, but I go a little bit. I like to add blueberries or some kind of berry mix. She is being really vocal today. I like to add those things into my drink because it's almost like I have a mini treat at the very end of drinking the water, and I kind of look forward to being able to eat the berries that are settled in the bottom. It gives it a little flavor, but I'll be honest with you. The very first few times that I was filling this bottle up and doing this, like right after Christmas, I didn't necessarily taste the blueberries in there. Now I do a little bit more. I do get, a little bit more of the blueberry flavor in there. And it could just be the blueberries I'm using might be a better quality, or my taste buds are starting to adjust and I'm picking up on the subtleties of that. That is possible. But I will say adding something in there, number one, kind of keeps it a little cooler, right? Because they are frozen blueberries. But also it's like a little treat at the end. And I don't really worry about accounting for berries, just because it would take a lot of berries to throw off your diet plan, guys. I mean, you'd have to eat a lot of them, to be quite honest. So I don't normally concern myself too much about it, but that is my strategy, is to fill it up to just above that 32-ounce line, all the way up to the top. I put some berries in there, and then I go about it, man. I take my drinks, and I try to avoid grabbing any kind of beverage that is not water. Now, I will say, I love diet sodas. I love zero calorie, the zeros. I think those are the best in terms of, like, their taste. I'm not saying I will never drink another one of those again. I'm just saying I needed a little bit of an absence from them. To be forthcoming, when I say I need an absence from them, I'm just looking for maybe 2 weeks to a month time frame just to kind of push them out on my diet and just kind of see like, is it going to help a little bit with the bloating? I, I tend to have one of those bodies that it sucks to be a male and have these type of bodies because of the fact that I don't hold a lot of weight. And I know this is true for a lot of males. I don't hold a lot of weight on my arms, on, my forearms, on my triceps, on my biceps, on my legs, my thighs, that kind of stuff. Like, I don't really hold weight there. When I hold weight, it's normally going to be around the love handles. It's going to be definitely in the stomach more than anything, into the chest a little bit, and then into my neck a little bit and face. I can tell you right now, just from drinking water for the past like 4 or 5 days, like I got a little bit of fat on my neck, but not that much. A little bit on my cheeks, no doubt about it. But my chest is definitely coming down. It's just a matter of like trying to get this freaking stomach down. Like, to me, that's always been the sticky part. And I've even been on diets in the past when I, was first diagnosed with diabetes and I went on the ketogenic diet. I got really skinny, guys. I got down to like 142 pounds at one point. And I still had it, even though like with a shirt on, you would never know. Without that shirt on, though, like I still would have, I had like belly fat that I just could not, even at 142 pounds at my height, I couldn't get rid of the dang crap. I probably still need to go down another 10 pounds. Truth be told, when you are, a sub 6 foot male, the last thing on earth you want to do is to get that light. To me, like the main problem I was having is I wasn't eating enough protein. I wasn't drinking enough water. And on top of that, guys, in my opinion, I wasn't strength training hard enough. I was trying to. I was just really failing to manage the diet and how to plan carbs because you're very limited on your carbs on the ketogenic diet. I don't think I did a great job of planning them around workouts, and I think I was just running out of fuel too much on the workouts, and I just wasn't progressing. Wasn't going through progressive overload like I should have, giving that. And that's partially why I changed the diet. The main reason I changed the diet was really the cost, because as COVID kind of hit, guys, and the pandemic set in, I mean, you go fast forward to right now, guys, and food's expensive. Meat in particular is expensive, and a good portion of what you eat there is fat based and fatty meat cuts. And they're not as cheap as they once was. I used to be able to find ribeyes for $4.99 to $6.99 a pound. I used to be able to go to an Earth Fair that was pretty close to my house, and I would be able to get those. That Earth Fair has since closed down. No mystery because of how they were selling ribeyes. And I mean, I haven't seen a ribeye that cheap in it's been very many years. Probably pre 2020, to be quite honest. Most of the ribeyes I see now when they're like cheaper are like $8.99 to $11.99 a pound. Is kind of like, well, wow, that's kind of affordable for a ribeye. My total volume here that I'm drinking of this water, when I go and I fill it up, I look to get about 96, liters, I guess is what it is, 96 ounces of water per day. Sorry, I was like liters. No, that's way too many. 96 ounces of water a day is 32 ounces. So I try to fill it up at least 3 times. To be fully honest, yesterday, like I filled it up 4 times because I had days where I was doing some HIIT cardio in with my lifting. I was thirsty. So I just kept drinking the dang water, and I was up over 128 ounces or so of water. So, I mean, I shoot for 3. If I can get to 4, that's a good day. If I can get above that, I just let my thirst drive it, guys. I don't like beyond 3. I want to make it to 3 because I think that everyone should be around 96 ounces of water in a day. But past that point, guys, my thirst will fully dictate that. Because at that point, I feel at least decent about what I've done in terms of the day and how I've approached it with drinking and consuming water and rehydrating myself, getting myself in the best place I could possibly be on my own for recovery, and to make sure I'm not dehydrating myself, right? Make sure I'm keeping everything hydrated. I'm ready for optimal performance for the next day when it comes to like working out and just going through my regular daily activities. Truth be told, I never thought I'd ever be here on a YouTube video talking about water consumption. I just have to recognize that if like my channel's not about giving other people advice, guys. I'm just not qualified to do that. I don't think that's fair. But I can share my story, right? I mean, we all have a story when it comes to health, and I think a lot of people take interest in other people's stories, whether you're taking advice from them or not. You're interested in like what they're going through and how they're approaching it and what the results are of that approach as you see them over time. This was my struggle, guys. I have really struggled with consuming water. I don't know what it is about water. I don't know why I am so terrible and absent-minded when it comes to the consumption of water. I just have been. I mean, even when I was really fit in like high school, when I played like football and I played baseball and things like that, guys, even when I was in the military, when I was really fit then, I had to be really conscious about my water. Even in the military, I remember one of the hacks I used to use is I would take like we used to get like these fruit juices in the military that you would fill up, kind of like fountain style, and I would fill it up halfway, and then I would fill the rest of the cup with water. And like I was honestly, I was very active. You take a lot of steps when you're in the military, guys. I was on a ship. I was in the Navy. You move up and down a lot, especially on something like an aircraft carrier. A lot of your job is walking. You're getting a lot of steps in. And on top of that, I would work out for anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes a day. And I would only take maybe 2 days off a month. It was something crazy like that, guys. I really didn't take a lot of days off the gym. I didn't know as much today. I would never prescribe that, nor would I ever follow that. Like, I would never have my kids. When I say prescribe, I'm talking about my own kids and stuff. Like, I would never make that recommendation to them. I think that recovery is too important, and I think that was too intense, to be quite honest. Um, but I'll admit, like, while I was more active, and of course I could use the sugars that are in those beverages, and of course diluting them down helps you maintain a little bit of your blood sugar. I mean, there was healthier alternatives, guys. I just did not know about diets. I didn't know about zero sugar drinks, like outside of water. I mean, everyone knows water. I was not as savvy back then as I am now. And it is, I mean, it makes me like kind of like want to slap myself upside the back of the head when I think back to that time. Like, what were you doing? Like, you're in such phenomenal shape, such great shape. You could have been in better. You could have aesthetically looked a lot better. You could have, from a performance standpoint for being in the military, you could have performed better. I don't know, man. Water has always been a challenge for me. I'm curious, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, what is it? How do you approach your water consumption? Like, what do you do in terms of like how often are you drinking water? Are you in that same kind of boat with me where it's like, I mean, I drink it when it's on my mind, but if I don't set out to do it, I ain't gonna do it. To be honest, I'm curious how everybody else kind of like deals with this because I can tell you when I don't drink a lot of water, I do feel more sluggish. Like straightforward, I feel more sluggish. I also get less steps because I don't have to pee as much. That's a different story. All right, guys, I appreciate your time and attention. If you enjoyed this video here, I made a video where I kind of talked about a hack that I use for McDonald's to where instead of going there and ordering an Egg McMuffin, I kind of make them at my house. And while they're not less calories than what you get at McDonald's, I mean, I think McDonald's is like 310, 315-ish in terms of the calories, and mine's closer to 400. It's like 390 calories. I'm getting way more protein into mine, and I trust my ingredients more. Listen, I used to work at McDonald's when I was a child. There's not a child making my food, being a little heavy with the grease and stuff. And even though it says 300 some calories, you're taking a risk. Let's be honest. You're taking a risk with a child making your food. So, I got my hack. If you watch this video right here, where I go over and I show you guys how to make, basically a high protein and anabolic version of a McMuffin. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all.